Okay, fine. So today we will discuss all these interview questions. So first one is how to disable log in cloud of deployment model. So here, this one is really very difficult question, and means even I was not aware of that, but I explored on internet and I got MuleSoft provides some API. You can make call of that API and then you can enable or disable log. Okay. So for this, if you want, then MuleSoft has one support ticket. This link I have shared here. Okay, you need to go on this link, and someone has answer about this question. Okay, so here MuleSoft provide multiple API. Okay, not for only enable disable log. If you want to retrieve log from MuleSoft, there also we have API which you can call and you can get log. Okay, for example, you need log for a specific like whenever your server restart or whenever you get database connectivity error. If you want to retrieve those kind of error based on some event, for example, your pod is number of pod is getting increased, or your memory usage is more than 80%. In this, when you means what kind of log you want to retrieve, whatever log you want to retrieve, you can call MuleSoft API to get that log. Same way, MuleSoft has provided one API to enable and disable log. So you can call this API and you can enable or disable log. Okay. For more detail, you have to go through MuleSoft documentation, and there you will get API detail, what all input you need to pass, what all output you will get, everything you will get. Okay. So this about first and second question. Now third question, what is the code expression you write for enable or disable of log? Okay, these three are related only. Okay. Then managing authentication. Now here, whenever user request will come, whenever request will come from client, so how you can authenticate client? Okay, so for this purpose we have multiple way. First one is JWT token authentication, and another one is OAuth authentication. These two are very popular, and these two are very widely used whenever you are doing authentication on Experience API. Okay, now how JWT token or how this OAuth works. So in case of JWT token, so we will have three things here. One is client server, then we will have JWT authentication server, and then target server. Okay, so we will have client, JWT token authenticator server, and then target server. So first client will make request to JWT token authentication server. Okay, and that server will return one JWT token to client. Now client will take that JWT token and it will make request to target server. So target server will have one public key provided by JWT token authentication server. They will use that public key to validate that token is valid or not. And this token will have some expiration time like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever will be configured on JWT authorization server. Sorry, not JWT server, whatever that expiration time will be configured. For that particular time, that token will be active. You can't deactivate that token before their expiration time. Okay, so this one is means you this JWT token is a Java web based token, and this token we use for authentication purpose. Now another thing we have, that is OAuth. Okay, so this one is messaging. This one is authentication messaging format, JWT token. Okay, you can generate this is not a protocol. Okay, this is just a message format, authentication message format. But OAuth is a protocol. Okay, so here in case of OAuth, you will have again client server, OAuth provider server, and then target server. Here what will happen? First you will make request to OAuth server from client. Client will make request to OAuth server. That OAuth server will pass one token. Okay. This token can be created by using JWT Java messaging format, or they can use some other messaging format also. Okay, they can pass JWT token also or some other token also. So we have multiple format. Now once client will receive that token, using that token client will make request to target server. Now target server, how they will validate? They will again call this OAuth server to validate that token. So they will pass that token to OAuth server. If OAuth server will respond with this is a valid token, then target server will send response to client server. Okay. If OAuth server will give error response like this is token is not valid, then it will send like unauthorized error. This particular user is not authorized to get actual response from target server. Okay. So these two are like very commonly used. A part of this, we have basic authentication, we have client ID enforcement. These also we use for authentication purpose. How do you disable few component or few connector during your deployment in Cloud Hub? Okay. So if you want to disable any component or connector, so once you need to go on code, you need to select that particular code, then you need to you need to do right click. You will get source disable component option. Inside source you will get disable component option. If everyone know this well and good, otherwise let me show you. So you can enable or disable few component of your application using this option. Let me show you. For example, I want to disable this component. Go to source of this component, go to XML. This is my component. Select this component, do right click, go to source, then add block comment. Okay, now if you will go to design, see that component is not here. Previously there was one component, so you can disable like this. If target system is down for some day, and how can you ensure the data reaches to target system? Okay, if target system is down for some time, and how can you ensure? Okay, so here you need to configure reconnection strategy. For example, your target server is down for 1 second or 2 seconds. So what you can do, you can retry to that same target server after some interval, maybe 200 second, 300 second. After that, means after 2 second, 3 second, you can retry. So you need to define reconnection strategy there. So this one will be one way. Another option, we have circuit breaker option. Okay, there also we configure our in circuit breaker. I think no one will able to call. No, I think circuit breaker I need to check that will be suitable here or not. But you can configure reconnection strategy. If you see multiple connectors support that reconnection strategy. For example, this one is HTTP requester. If you go here, so here you can see reconnection strategy. You can do standard or forever. Standard means you will retry for few time, like 2 time, 3 time in the interval of 2 second, 3 second. Forever means if it will keep retrying in the particular interval. 2000 millisecond means in each 2 second it will keep retrying unless it will not be successful, it will be keep retrying. Okay. What is the acknowledgement and how many type of acknowledgement modules are there? Acknowledgement. This one I'm not sure what exactly they are asking. If the status code 500, then send error response to client, and if the status code is 400, then send success response. How you will handle this? Okay, so here we have two scenario. One is status code 500, another one is status code 400. Okay, so what you need to do, in case of 400 you need to configure on error continue, and in case of status code 500 you need to configure on error propagate. Okay, so if you know, on error continue will catch error and it will send success response. So in 400 they want success response, so in case of 400, whenever we will check error code is 400, configure on error continue and send success response. And in case of 500, so on error propagate will catch error and it will send error. So in case of 500 we will configure on error propagate and it will send error response. Do you follow any specific standard when you are logging? Yeah, whenever we are doing logging we have to follow some standards, like we must need to do start log and end log. Whenever your mule application will start, you need to put start log. You need to define important components like correlation ID. You need to define uh, start time. You need to define application name. You need to define flow name. So all those things you should define. And end log also you will define same thing, but you can define their execution time also, when your process started, when your process completed. So during that particular interval how much time it took, so that time execution time you can, or you can say response time you can display. A part of that, whenever you are making any external system call, any external system call, you should do request log and response log. Okay, so it will help you, like what kind of response you got from target system, how much time it took, so that kind of information it will give you. A part of that, you should do like some log to like where you want to display what like payload is there, or what is the message content is there at that particular point. If you feel, if we will put that log, and during this monitoring, like whenever we will go on production, it will helpful, you should do that logging also. But at the same time you should avoid unnecessary logging. Okay, you should avoid as much as you can avoid unnecessary logging, so we will not bombard logging also. Otherwise your application may get slow, your log will get too heavy. Okay, so we should maintain as as low as means what I can say, as less you can put logging. Okay, wherever it's very much required, then only we should put logging. Otherwise we should not do logging unnecessarily. And also we should take care of, we should not display any sensitive information. If you are displaying any sensitive information, that should be masked. How can we improve performance of application? Now this part, actually there will be many way you can improve. So first thing, we can do parallel processing with the help of batch processing, parallel for each, scatter gather. So this one will be first way you can do parallel processing. Second way, you can do scaling. In scaling you can do vertical and horizontal scaling based on your requirement. If you are getting many number of requests, you can do horizontal scaling. If your payload size is getting bigger, then you can do vertical scaling. So scaling will be second important factor. Third, you can do caching. So if you are thinking like you are calling some external system and you are getting somewhat static response, so in that case you should not always call that external system again and again for same request. We can do caching there and we can avoid unnecessary call. So whatever time you will take to get response from external system, from caching you will take 1/10 of that particular time. For example, external system taking 3 seconds to respond, caching will give response in 100 millisecond. Okay, so we should do caching as much as we can do. like wherever you can see this response is not changing very frequently, we should do caching. Okay, and to avoid any kind of real-time data issue, we should configure decaching also. Okay, so this three way is there. Another way we have, we should use async scope. Okay, whenever you are thinking some like in your mule application, few part of your mule application is taking too much time and is not very very much mandatory to complete before sending response. If you are thinking that is not very much important, then you should put those component or those execution inside async scope, so that will also increase performance of your API. Okay, so this all option you can select now. Okay, in connector side also, there will be multiple operation which will support bulk insert or bulk update, that also you should use. So it will again save your processing time and it will increase API performance. Okay. Okay, next, say some optimization fine for memory efficiency. Okay, so for memory you can use streaming option. Okay, so in streaming, like you will not process all record at a time, you will do in stream by stream. Another way you can use this pagination. Okay, like if your payload size is too big to process, then you can use pagination option also, where you will split that payload into multiple pages and you will respond in page by page. Okay, so as per my understanding, these two options you can select. One is pagination, another one is streaming option. When we start project, what are all functional requirement and what all are non-functional requirement we need plan design. We are follow API application functional requirement and non-functional requirement. Okay, so first you need to understand what is functional requirement and what is non-functional requirement. Okay, so functional requirement means your business requirement, what your business want. They want one API. For example, they want one API to retrieve customer information. So here functional part will be your API development, what all logic should be there to retrieve customer information. So there will be resource name slash customer here. If we will pass customer ID, it will give response of that particular customer ID. If we will not pass customer ID, it will give all the customer detail. Okay, if we will pass salary range, then or maybe age range, then it will return only that particular customer detail within that particular age group. Okay, so whatever things related to business we will pass, or we will like whatever things related to business requirement, that will be your functional requirement. Okay, so using this you can develop your API happily, your API will work technically, there is no problem. But to maintain or monitor your API, you have to do many non-functional things. What all non-functional thing you need to do? Logging. Okay, if you will not put logging, it doesn't mean your API will not work. Your API will work perfectly. But if something will fail, then how you will manage, like how you will understand where exactly your API failed and due to which region it failed. Okay, so to manage or monitor your API, so you need logging. So logging is non-functional requirement. Error handling. If your API is failing, you have to handle your API in such a way like you will not lose any data, important data. So error handling is also error handling. I think we can put inside functional. It's a functional only. It's not. that will be part of business requirement only. If this error will come, how to handle. So functional, this error handling will be functional requirement only. Logging will be non-functional requirement, SLA. So what will be SLA of your API? Like within how much time your API will respond. So you have to give your maximum time. What maximum time your API can take, like 3 seconds, 4 seconds, whatever. So that will be your SLA. Then monitoring, how you will monitor your API. So that will be also part of non-functional requirement. Then authentication, how you will secure your API, what kind of security and policy you will use, that will be also part of non-functional requirement. So non-functional requirement is required to monitor and manage your API. Okay, if you will not put your non-functional requirement, not implement non-functional requirement, it doesn't mean your API will not work. Your API will work perfectly, but only working of API is not a solution. Whatever you are implementing, if you will just make your API working, that is not enough, good enough. You have to secure your API. You have to develop your API in such a way, if there will be any failure, you can easily identify where is the problem. So for that you need logging. There should be some SLA. It should not be like your API will respond in any time, like sometime 5 seconds, sometime 10 seconds. There should be some maximum SLA time. Then there should be some another SLA, like how many requests your API can handle within 1 second or 1 minute. Okay, that is your TPS should be there. So all those things will come inside non-functional requirement. How you will cover HTTP endpoint to HTTPS endpoint. Okay, so this, like if you are working on HTTP protocol, we have in if you are exchanging any data on internet, we have two protocol, HTTP and HTTPS. HTTPS means hypertext transport protocol, and this one is secured protocol. So here your like request on internet will be secured by SSL. Okay, so if you want to convert this, then you need to go into HTTP listener and you need to change protocol from HTTP to HTTPS. When you are creating or converting your listener configuration from HTTP to HTTPS, it will ask TLS configuration. Okay, so what is TLS configuration? So whenever you are securing your API using SSL, secure socket layer, SSL, I forgot full form. Okay, whatever. So whenever you are securing your API using SSL, you need to configure TLS configurations. Means like if you are securing your API using SSL, then you need to configure private key on your side, and you need to provide your public JKS key to source system. So they will use that public key to encrypt data, and they will make request to your system. Now you will have private key. Using private key, you will validate that the request is coming from authenticate user or not. Okay, so you just need to change protocol from HTTP to HTTPS, and you need to configure private key on your side, and you need to provide public key to calling system. What is monitoring tool? So this tool we use to monitor our API. So what all monitoring we do here? So how many requests you are getting in 1 second, how many threads are running parallelly, how much memory usage are there, how much vcode usage are there. So all those things you can do inside monitoring tool. Okay, so there are many third-party monitoring tools are there, and inside Anypoint Cloud Hub, if you will take Cloud Hub license, then inside that only you will get monitoring tool. So you will able to see current number of threads, like you will able to see threads consumption throughout the time, how many requests coming to your API, how much time your API taking to process that request, what all external system you are calling, how much time they are taking to respond to you. Okay, then how much memory are in use, heap memory in use, how much vcode are in use. So everything you will get inside monitoring. So what is logging mechanism? How will you check logs? Okay, this question I already answered. This is very similar to above one. So logging mechanism, like how you are logging. Okay, and how you will check log? So to check log, actually you can go on CloudHub. If you have some other log monitoring framework like Elasticsearch, Kibana, then what other are there, Splunk, and all are there, then you can easily go there and you can filter out and you can see your log. Okay, in Raml, I want to validate empty and nullable. So Raml support nil uh, in data type. Okay, how you are placing string, at the same time you can put nil also. So if you will put nil, then it will support null data also. Otherwise, it will give you error. Okay, suppose Raml design complete, client asks you to add some other basic functionality, but design is freezed. How to add that one? Okay, okay. So first thing you need to understand, whatever things you are defining in Raml, okay, you can apply all the validation and everything there. But if you are passing something extra, that doesn't mean your API will not support that extra field. For example, in query parameter, I define two query parameter and I am passing third query parameter also. It will support that third query parameter also. It will not give any error. But that query parameter will not have any kind of validation or verification. For example, two query parameter you defined and you used required true. So if someone will not pass that query parameter, it will give error. But a part of this two query parameter, you can pass any number of query parameter. That will not create any problem. Same you can do in body also. But whatever you will define in request, that will be validated. If you are not defining, that will not be validated. Only this difference will be there. So even if there will be code freeze, means design like Raml freeze is there, you can pass some more query parameters, some more body, some more header, and you can achieve your business logic. Okay, so it's done. Okay, fine. Anyone has any query till this, you can ask.
Ravi, Nagesh here.
Yeah, tell me.
Ravi, I have one question related to this token thing. I have got one question from one of the interview.
Okay.
Like they were saying a token expires every 1 hour, and we need to fetch the token every 1 hour. Like he was asking me, what is the best approach you can do that?
Okay. See, token expired in every 1 hour. Okay. Just now we discuss caching part. If you know for same user that token will be valid for 1 year, 1 hour, then why every time we will? So user is coming after 5 minutes. So we should utilize same token only. Why we will call that? Why we will call token service provider again? So in that case, you can do caching. Okay, and when user will come next time, he will do some operation. You can take get token from caching, not you will call to external system. So it will increase, like it will increase performance of your API.
Okay. Ravi, here caching in the sense like we need to cache and we need to store in we need to store in object store, or how it can be done?
Yeah, object store. Actually, means object store is best option since it's a inbuilt component of MuleSoft. Okay, and
Okay.
processing
Okay.
time will be very less. So object store is the
Okay.
one of the best place to store this.
Okay. Ravi, I have shared few other questions in the group. If you can check now, just have a look on those questions also.
Yeah. Okay, I will take those questions. So first, I will discuss some scenario-based question, and then I will take your question tomorrow. Yeah.
Sure.
Just give me 1 minute. Okay, let me stop this video.